guys, today I'm going to be doing a TouchNew marker review. I'm just kind of going to be comparing the markers and just seeing how well they hold up on the paper I have and see how well they draw. I got these markers maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I wanted to make sure I knew how to use them since this is my first time having alcohol-based markers. I now have 2 sets, but this was my first time having alcohol-based markers, so I wanted to make sure they worked well before I did anything with them. So today I'm going to be using this pink prong pencil with squinkies on the end, which actually works as an eraser for the pencil, which is really cool since I get them at the movie theater. This Brutally Hurt Panda Bear of a eraser, which I freaking love novelty erasers and plan on getting more. And this little tube of like TouchNew, a little skin tone chart. Not so much a chart as it is a line, but it allows me to compare the different tones. And I'm going to be going for 25 and 32, I think. I like both of them. Yeah, 25, 32, and 26. These are the colors that I have picked out so far for the drawing. I will have them all placed on the side, and any colors that I decide to pick throughout the drawing, I will put at the end. I'll put like an end card for it. So already you can tell that I am not the best with coloring in large surfaces with these markers, because I'm used to drawing in much smaller scale, but I'm trying to get used to larger scales. Sometimes the markers can be a little bit iffy since they are basically like on brand, off brand in my opinion, but I really do love them. Hashtag not sponsored. But they can be a little iffy sometimes with how much ink you get. Sometimes they'll be a lot deeper than other times. But as you can tell, they go on well. The consistency and like the tone is really nice. So that's a really good sign. Because one marker is newer than the other, you can kind of see the difference in the saturation, and I'm hoping that will go away as it dries, but I'm actually having a really hard time with colors because I have 2 sets of markers, one with the black casing, which names I cannot pronounce, and I can never find it anywhere when I looked it up, since it's in cursive, but I can never find it anywhere. But I'm using the TouchNew markers strictly, so it's actually really hard to find colors I want, since I have some of these that I do not have in the TouchNew, so I'm just going to be using, not fairly basic, since I do have a lot of colors, but not that many vibrant colors that I like, which is what I want this drawing to depict. So I'm going to be using more plain colors. And here I've already made my first mistake because I'm used to going all the way around the eye with the liner, since that's how I usually make most of my art, so I'm going to have to continue that on both eyes, even though that's not what I wanted to do.
I'm going to be going in, I'm going to be using 67 pastel blues and going into drawing the eyes, like
maybe, whatever. But I'm going to go in and drawing the eyes. After your first few times using the markers, you should have been able to break down like the tip of it, the felt tip, which will allow it to go on kind of like brush-like, if that makes any sense. I don't mean like be really harsh on your markers, I just mean like draw semi-consistently and also like break down the tip into a nice texture that'll be easier for you to use. For the lollipop, I'm going to be using Cosmo 7, Vivid Pink 6, and Paula Pink 9 to kind of get an effect on the sucker. For the stem, I'm going to be using Cool Gray 2 to go in for like the stem. The different pinks are so I can go in and do like a shading effect since the stick is supposed to be in it. It's supposed to look kind of like it's in there, inside the sucker. I'm sorry, I'm really out of it. I haven't slept in like hours, but I wanted to get this done, or at least partially done. And I've never ever been that great with words. So first, I think I'm going to go in with the 9th because it seems the most pale on the chart I have. And it's actually a really weird thing I found is that all the colors are more vibrant on paper without like liner. It's not even the smudging, but they're just more vibrant than before. So it's probably because, I don't know, the ink's been moved around or something. She does have a tongue. It's just kind of like hidden behind the lollipop. I think I'm going to shade from that angle. I'm going to be trying to blend the lollipop better with my colorless blender, which I have hardly used because I'm really bad at it. And I always screw things up. But here, I think I might have made it worse. I don't know, can't tell. It looks better on camera, but worse in person. I'm going to go over it just slightly and get the fading transparency of that to match. Okay, I think that's actually kind of good. Now I'm going to be going in with my cream. The cream is actually going to be her hair. That I have. Most of my yellows and brighter tones came in a little bit dried out, but a few of them still work just fine. But all of my yellows, one of them was completely gone, so I had to soak it. It was my deep yellow. It was completely gone, so I had to soak it in literally nail polish remover to let it like rejuvenate, and it works kind of fine now. It's still a little dead, but I'm fine with it. So yeah, see, this is my pastel yellow instead of my deep yellow, which is what I was just doing. This one goes on easier and it looks better than the deep yellow. It's, yeah, you can hear it go on. Well, it scrapes. I haven't used my yellows as much, so they're still fairly new. So this is kind of how the markers reacted, at least for me, when they were first, like, when they were new. Gonna try to go around and not let it bleed into the hair because then it looks pretty bad. So far I'm really happy with how she's turned out. I think it's gorgeous. All the caps but one that I've gotten works just fine. Like you can put them on and take them off fine. But I got a gray one and after my first time opening it, it wouldn't go back on. So I actually had to take like a piece of tape and tape it back on. Otherwise it would have dried out. So that is something that you should think about before buying these markers.
I'm going to be using TouchNew's Pink Tones, 7 Cosmos, and Pale Pink 9 for the Band-Aid on the nose.
I still have a bit of trouble blending, as you can tell. I'm not very good at it. I just got some new marker paper earlier today since this is my second day of filming this video, since I started at like 1 a.m. last night and I couldn't finish it due to having stuff in the morning to do. But hopefully I will be able to figure out how to blend on that new paper. It works really well. It's like a smoother tone than this multimedia
sketchbook.
I think that looks pretty good. I'm gonna add just a dot of like vivid pink to it around here. Give it kind of like, not a shaded effect, but kind of like more of a toned effect where you can see the outline. Like that. There we go. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good.
I'm going to be going in with Cool Grade 2. For her t-shirt and coloring that in. I might get a second gray. I'm trying to stick to strictly the colors that I picked out beforehand, but I might get a cool gray to go over it. I'm not sure.
This is actually turning out fairly well so far. Her hair and her eyes I think is actually really pretty. I think the colors mesh really well. I really like how it turns out. like that. I'm using 32 deep yellow right now for the wrinkles in the So I'm just about done. I only have 2 more things that I really think need to be done. I'm going to be giving her ear jewelry. Okay, so I have done most of the shading, and I'm going to be going in with the ear jewelry. Like, I'm going to do vivid pink and deep yellow because I want the ear jewelry that I'm doing right now to have a very pop-out, vibrant effect, like this. I think it might look decent. I'm not really sure. Yeah, I can never really tell with my own art. It's like, people can say it look great, and I still think it looks horrible. I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. I think my coloring has gotten better, especially with the new markers, since I can finally do skin tones instead of just outlining them so they don't look like Oompa Loompas completely colored in orange, since I had actually no skin tones. But I really do love having more of a variety. I have to say that it was so overwhelming at first. I couldn't draw anything because I couldn't think of what colors would work well together, because before I literally only had 20 colors to pick from. So I like to use almost all the same set of markers, and now I swap up my 2 different marker brands, the non-brand generic markers I got off of Amazon, and then my TouchNew markers, which I also got off of Amazon, but they're brand. So now I switch those up because they're like relatively the same. But before that, I'd only use like 1 brand, and it was like, I think it's the Jot ones that you can get from Dollar Tree. So my artwork would always look really weird, and it's like, we didn't have any like Crayola skin tone sets that they have now. Like, I know they've had them for a while, like now they have like a 20 pack I think, but we didn't have any of those. And I didn't even know until I got really into like art markers this year that those even existed, because I used to color strictly with pencils. And then I kind of really wanted to learn how to use colors, because that is what I love to see, like on Instagram and on YouTube. I wasn't a fan of the sketchers or the people who did everything in black and white. I was more of a fan of the people who used bright, vibrant, cartoon-looking colors, because they've always been really appealing to my eye. So I literally didn't even know that Crayola skin tone markers existed until I got into markers. I'm debating whether or not to go in and add freckles right now. I think she looks pretty good, but I really did draw her to give her some freckles. And I think, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Leap of faith. If it looks bad, I'll just X out her whole entire face. But I'm gonna go in with, oh my gosh, I almost just used a chisel nib on it. That freaked me out. Okay, so I'm going to be going in with, I'm gonna do 103 for the base, and then 21. And see how that looks. Let's pray it works. So I decided to add freckles to more than just the face, because unlike how some people believe, freckles are not just on like your face. I know some people like to draw them that way. It is more aesthetically pleasing sometimes, and this can sometimes look like chicken pox. But freckles, as a highly freckled girl, you can't really see them, but I have them all over my arms, all over my face, especially since it's summer. And every single time I go to the pool, I literally get like a new patch of just straight up freckles, just freckling over each other. So I decided that I wanted to like add more, because you don't really see many like OCs or stuff from bigger artists that have a bunch of freckles everywhere, and I just kind of thought this would be a cute idea to give her a bunch of freckles. I know I'm not a big artist, but still. I actually really love the way it looks. I used to hate my freckles until, like, I'm a huge Pinterest fan, so scrolling through Pinterest one day and I saw this photo of a girl and she was covered in freckles, but she looked like a supermodel, and it just made me think, okay, freckles aren't bad, it's just my face. But I'm adding little freckles because I don't know. A lot of people hate their freckles, and honestly I think they're beautiful. I just don't personally like them on moi. Yeah, I think I'm almost done. Just gonna finish up the arm here. I'm going to go back over the neck with the potato, and fix this up. Yeah, I'm hoping that soon I'll be more comfortable talking on camera and I won't literally forget what I'm saying and stumble over my words every 3 seconds. Okay, there's a freckle cluster right there. I'm gonna go in with terracotta one more time, and then I'm done. Okay, so this is actually the finished piece. I really actually am proud of it. I really like it. I like the way the colors look on her. I like the freckles. I think she looks really good. I don't know. I mean, I kind of feel like I should go over the hair and stuff, but I feel like that would take away from the cartoonist vibe that she has going on, so I'm just going to leave it as is. Anyway, this is Pastel Royal. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you next week. Bye. Please like, comment, and subscribe.